So happy you joined us today, or we'll be seeing this later. I am happy to have Bruno Bianchi with us today. He is my personal trainer, and for many years, he got me ready for my wedding. And we're at almost a 10-year anniversary now, so I need your help again. So we have a year.
Right.
But Bruno he's a health and fitness instructor, trainer, personal trainer. He has so many certifications, I can't keep up with them. So I'm just going to list a few, and you can go to his website and check them out for yourself. He is a certified spinning instructor. He is a golf exercise performance specialist, American College of Sport Medicine personal trainer certification course, and he's ACE. He's an ACE trainer. He has an international accreditation. It goes on and on. Lifestyle and weight management, boxing. Take your pick. It's been a privilege to work with him, for him to work with me for so many years, and to learn and see him work with so many people. And so the reason I wanted to bring him on is because we have been in lockdown for almost 3 months now, and it's going to take some time to come out. And I think for me, I'm looking for motivation, and I'm thinking if I'm needing motivation, maybe some of you are as well.
Right.
When we started just before lockdown, I was more motivated. I had just kind of hit my zone, so to speak. And Bruno was helping me just continue to move on.
Right.
And then lockdown happened. And then they closed the gyms, even this private one.
Right. Right.
So for almost 3 months, people have been at home. I have been at home.
Right.
And my husband and I have a spinning bike. I put it in the living room, and I tried to do some virtual spinning classes to keep motivated. But as time passed, I lost my motivation.
Right.
And so now, as gyms are starting to open, and more personal gyms are opening, this is the time to really get back out there. So Bruno, when we are looking to get out there with no motivation, can you help us? Can you share with some of the viewers how they can get that motivation?
Right.
I'll tell you this. Bruno has studied a couple years of psychology as well. And he dials in on where we are, where I am. When I come in, the first thing he wants to know is, how are you? What's happening in your life? What's going on? That emotional, that psychological place impacts our training.
Right.
Our motivation.
Right.
And so he knows the days he can work me really hard and push me.
Right.
Or he needs to pull back and just really work my body, but really focus in on my emotional and mental well-being.
Right.
Giving that motivation, that encouragement. And so that's so important these days, especially. I think this has impacted so many of everybody.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
What are you seeing with your clients as they come in, and what are you finding that is helpful?
Well, first of all, let me say thank you so much, Steph, for having me here. It's an honor to be able to be here with you. And I know that you are out there doing all these podcasts and helping a lot of people and reaching in different areas. So again, thank you for having me here to be able to, talk a little bit about this fitness that we can include in our life, that is going to make our life more balanced. So yeah, it is true, absolutely. What's going on in a normal circumstances, I'm talking about life, it's already difficult to find that motivation, to find that well-being, to find that consistency about the exercises and food and resting and healing, that they are all needed to bring that balance to our life. So imagine now that after what happened to all of us, it was a shock. So it was forcing ourselves to absolutely change whatever tool we're using, that was being positive to us. Now we can't use it anymore, and now basically we were into that cocoon state. So with that said, we are not designed to be in a cocoon state, and feel good and feel balanced, and have all that energy. Actually, it's the opposite, because we start disconnecting from the things that is going to, bring us in some different, ways, all that energy and motivation, and all the things that we need to be able to move forward. So what I would say is, now that we are reopening, like gyms and studios, I would highly recommend, first of all, of course, to be safe about this virus that still is going on. So it's here, so we need to be conscious, even if we start going to our new normal now. Then, talking about the factors of motivation, I firmly believe that the motivation is going to come when we find that purpose. That's why we need a purpose every day in life. So when we are pursuing that purpose, means that we have that motivation to reach and achieve that purpose. So most of us, our purpose is to feel good, to have balance in our life. But in order to get there, we need different tools that are going to allow us to get to that point. So that's why she was sharing that the approach that I take when I'm working with another, human being, with my clients, my lovely clients, is, I would say that a completely full, package, that what's going on in their life every single day, not just physically, because when we're talking about like psychologically and physiologically, everything is connected. So if everything is connected, we cannot find that we are going to be performing well in one area when the other one is not balanced, and vice versa. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying so far. Yeah, it does?
Yeah.
Cool. So in order to get that balance, it's a daily work. It's like 24/7 work, in which we have to be introspective and see what is being in contact, basically connect to our body and to our mind, and of course through spirituality, and of course through the emotions that are going on in our life, etc. No, so when we find that, basically we need to tailor our day around those specific needs. So what I'm saying with that is that we all have different specific needs every single day, because we are not just a flat line as a human beings. We're going in different directions all day long. So those specific needs, it's very important for us to know exactly where I'm at that particular day. For example, let's just say about exercising. If you're training at this 1 to 10, right? You're training at, your level is about 8, right? So that doesn't mean that 8 is going to be the same number every single day of your life. And then is when we go back to check with ourselves, where we are in life. And we need to adapt and tailor that day to the basically daily needs. So if that happened, like today I wake up and I have like different things that are going on in my life that are taking in some way a lot of emotionally energy, so that is going to drain me in some sense. So when I'm going to go ahead and engage with the exercise, what is expected from me with the checklist that of my homeworks, excuse me, that is going to affect me, directly to the level of that performance. So if I push myself and I say, well, I was an 8, now I should be an 8 again, and just like that, basically we're creating, overloading ourselves with like not realistic expectations. Mm-hmm. And then is when we start failing in those aspects about the performance, and then it just turn against us, because automatically we start putting everything on us. Mm-hmm. As a client, as a trainee, we start saying, well, if I'm not performing this way, it's because of my fault. Mm-hmm. So I'm weak, this is going on because I blah 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 blah. So basically we need to turn that the other way around and just be analytical about why today I cannot get the 8. It's fine. I'm going to get level 5. So, and then we adjust that process of the whole day, talking about exercise and healing, because sometimes, of course, you need resting more than other days. So that's why it's so important the day basis, in this approach, to find those results. And to me, results means balance in your life, balance internally and externally, so that's kind of like the big picture of what you're hearing. So
balance.
Right.
Yeah.
To try to find that balance. So
and forgive yourself. The days you don't hit that mark, you just forgive yourself
Mm-hmm.
and move forward. And it's the same in our Christian walks too.
Mm-hmm.
When we mess up or we don't do things according to like we think we should or we're told to, we can carry guilt, and that really impedes our training. It impedes our spiritual walk. There's a parallel.
Absolutely.
So we have to forgive ourselves, because number one, God forgives us when we ask.
Mm-hmm.
And then we forgive ourselves, and then without that burden, we're free to go forward in life, whether it's spiritual, personal, training, otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
And I find too that I can wake up in the mornings, like you're talking about in life, you already have your to-do list, and it's draining just thinking about
Right.
it, especially when there's so many different challenges. But if just spending time that first part of the morning with God and my Bible, and reading those Bible verses and praying and just allowing Him to change my mind and my emotions, the day for me goes so differently.
Right.
And that's such an important piece right now. That's where we find our peace, and that enables us to then grab hold of the tasks of the day,
Right.
like training.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you notice a difference? I have really been focusing on doing things outside
Mm-hmm.
right now,
Right.
especially the last 3 months.
Right.
And I feel almost an immediate difference once I make myself go outside,
Uh-huh.
start walking,
Right.
breathing the fresh air and the sunshine.
Right.
It just lifts me up.
Right.
It energizes me.
Right. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. Again, I do believe that everything is about balance, and we are in this world. I mean, God brought us here, not just in individuals. We are here as a part of everything, and basically being outside, being in contact with the nature, embracing the sun, the light, the breeze, the grass, the whatever, it's related to that. It's as important as when we are eating a healthy and balanced diet.
Mm-hmm.
If we just do one thing and one thing only, we're gonna lack of a lot of other nutrients, that we need when we are talking about food and our diets in order to function well. Well, the same thing is in the other aspects, in those kind of, I would say, spiritual aspects, because you're connecting, you're connecting your soul, yourself, to the world that we're living in, and we can connect and reflect and pray meanwhile we're doing all those things, and then is when we're finding all that internal peace and elevation start to happen, right? So I think like it's extremely important to do that. Yeah.
What are you noticing in your clients right now?
About?
As you're starting to see them again,
Mm-hmm.
maybe from where they were to where
Right.
they are now,
Right.
emotionally, what are you doing? What are the things that you're telling them to do to get that motivation
Right,
back?
right.
and to
Well, I
change
think
their
like everything else, Steph, I think everything is a process. So as the process goes, I do believe we are growing through the process, or the processes that we are living in. So I do think like whatever process you were working on before this happened, everything all of a sudden changed. And then you start a new process, you like it or not. And then you need to, first of all, accept that it's a new process, and then adjust and adapt to it. And from there to grow into, move to balance into that process that you're living. So in some way, I do believe that there's, of course, a lot of negative things about what this brought, but as well, I think like if we try to embrace every moment of our life, to try to find different meanings, I would say that also it was an opportunity for us to be more introspective and relate to other things that maybe we forgot, be connected to other aspects of our life that maybe we forgot. most of the people is extremely busy all day long, like in the society we live today, it's like non-stop pressure, media, status, work, and then we're forgetting all the simple things like what you just shared, walking outside, and just because in some way you're forced and you cannot do anything else, and you cannot be working or be focusing on other, maybe superficial things, and now you're forced to be connected to, oh wow, what's going on. And then it's a reminder of how it feels to be a human being, and that is giving you a key to open on what's the tools that we really need in life to find that balance. So as my clients are going now through the process to coming back to work out, and engage in all this, what it means, because it's not just workout. Again, I would say it's a connection of different, aspects of our life that as well, when we are working out, everything sinks in. So that's the way I take when we're training. It's not just training just for training. It's not just training to achieve this body shape, because if we are investing in that way, you're never going to find that balance. Even if you do have that amazing body shape and everything else, it's not going to really last that high. It's going to go away, fade away, because we're empty inside. So in order to get and achieve that place of balance and being solid, I do believe that you need to work in all these aspects at the same time. And when you're training, it's an amazing moment to connect to those aspects, because in some way you're disconnecting from everything else, and you're having this kind of date with yourself, and you can listen to your body, you can listen to your emotions, you can sync and channel all those emotions in different ways, and grow from it. So regarding my clients, as they start engaging again through this process, in some way all of them, they agree, and they share with me how much they miss this, and they didn't realize that because they were just in some way used to in a weekly basis to go through this process and see me, etc. But now when we again are in a parenthesis in our life, and we don't have that chance, and then we go back, as we go back to the normal, we're going to realize the things that brought us balance in our life, and the things were not that good, and how we feel about it, and how if we don't invest, because that's the key word, we need to invest a daily work in bringing that balance to our life. If we are not investing in that, how we decline, in different senses, and how we start emotionally to feel drained, and emotionally to be sad, or psychologically to be affected, or physically, of course, to be. So everything is connected, we like it or not. Yes. So that's the way it is, Yeah. So that's what my clients are feeling right now, and what I share for them to the motivation, like you are saying, I do believe that it's a process, and with that, I think it's very important to understand that the process is not something that you're going to make it happen from one day to another. A process is basically a daily. It's like a plant. When you're just putting water in a plant, you're not going to put water or a lot of water one day and it's going to be a tree. You need every day to put that little water, and enough, no more, no less, and you need to check on that, how it is going on through the weeks. And maybe if it is not working well, maybe less water, and if it is working not well in the other sense, maybe more water. So the same thing with this, as we were talking before, why do I care? And I ask each individual client, how are they feeling? Where are they in life right now? What are the crises that are going through? What the stress factors that are going through? And then we talk about, of course, the physiology. How do you feel physically? Anything hurts, and just like that, on and on and on with the list. And then after that, you have the whole picture of that human being, where it is, and then you design and tailor exactly what they need for that particular day, for that particular week, to help them, to give them the tools and support to, go to the next level, That's the way we grow, in my opinion.
Yeah. I love what you shared about, what did you said? Oh, this time is actually an opportunity.
Right.
This is Bruno. He will turn lemons into lemonade. and that is something that I've very much appreciated about you. And even in your own life, walking things out.
Right.
Lemons to lemonade.
Right.
And he never stops. He never gives up. And it makes me think about several things, but even Friday, it was the last day of the school year. I was finishing up at work, and we're supposed to be done by noon. It was the last day, right?
Right.
Well, we were working on this project, my another colleague and I were, and it was 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. We were fried mentally. But at the end of the day, we finished at 4:30, but we finished strong. And what kept coming into my mind, I kept hearing, was Bruno speaking to me on a cardio workout. If I would put my head down, if I would sink back or something, it was like, no, you sit forward, you do this, because you finish as strong as you start.
Yeah.
You said this is a pattern for life.
Right.
And over the years, I have found that to be so true. And hearing those words and that consistent example, finishing strong, it keeps me going when I want to quit.
Right.
And yet we don't see the rewards if we quit.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's, I do, agree with you, Stephanie, that it's so important for us to bring that picture to our mind. And I do believe that it's important, because when you are doing that, is you are basically building your soul. You are building your real strength. When you cross that line, it doesn't matter if you are not going to cross the line again. Let's say I'm going for a jog, and then I running for 45 minutes, and then when I'm coming back, I am extremely tired, but I have in my mind, I need to cross that line, I need to finish that. Okay, well, maybe I'm not gonna finish that line sprinting. Maybe I'm just going to walk to finish that line. But the important thing is to accomplish that, because when we do that, what happens is you are building yourself immediately, from the inside out. You're learning to love yourself, to respect yourself. That's why it's so important to do those things. So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then God tells us to run the race, endurance.
Mm-hmm.
We have to endure. We stay strong.
Right.
And that's when the victories come. And
absolutely.
So we're running a race now that one day when He returns, we want to have that kind of victory.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That's what all is about. I mean, if we would be able to, I think, step out, of all, our environment, we would be able to see exactly that everything is so connected. It would be so simple for us to really see that everything is so connected. As you are talking about God and the endurance and the race, everything is right there. So life is exactly that. That's what happened. I mean, all of us were not exempt to challenges are going to come to our life. It's not if it is they are going to come. When they come, what happened? You need to endure. You need to go through it. You can't quit. I mean, you may feel defeated, but meanwhile you're here. You're gonna keep going, and then is when it's so important for us to realize about the Word of God and about the love. We start understanding much more the love, the real love, true love and support from the people that we love, and they love us back. And we grow. I mean, because I never met anybody who went through very significant challenges, through this journey, and the ones that they still here sharing, life with us, all of them, they came out, not just more stronger, but I would say wiser. I would say, I don't know, like maturely, spiritual mature, from it. Would it give you another perspective of life, and I do believe that is when we start to realize really how we need to feel inside, to feel that substance inside, content, and embrace life the word it should be embraced, and we don't get distracted about other superficial things, so definitely.
It's true. And like you said, the way that this changes us.
Yeah.
And so things that were important to me before COVID shut down, not so important anymore.
Right.
And
it's interesting, right? Yeah, definitely.
It takes a plague to do that, right?
Absolutely, yes.
But anyway, God uses everything that He doesn't cause it, He uses.
Right, absolutely.
And if we're not allowing these things to grow us, then how sad is that?
Well,
Never
you
get
got a point over there. It's not that we have a chance. I mean, you let this to help us to grow us, or it will destroy you. Simple like that. There's no like a gray in here. It's not like, oh, I choose not to grow, so it's fine. I'm gonna keep being like this. No, you're not gonna be there. It's not like you're like a little kid and you're not gonna be punished and you just can keep watching TV. It doesn't work that way. It's the way, or you embrace this and you really try to go through, and connect to the really important things for each situation that happen in your life, and try to grow from it, and look for help, reach for help, as well, because that's one of the things that we don't do because we are so, in some way maybe proud or maybe other kind of, factors, but it's not easy for us to ask for help. But also I think that it's extremely important that, again, we are not meant to be alone. As we are with God, as we are also with our loved ones, it's for a reason. We supposed to be that. If we just look at the animals, they live in packs, the ones that they live in packs, it's for a reason. And they are not really intellectually thinking that. They do it because of the nature of it. They need each other and accomplish their purpose, So the same thing for us. It's like the only difference is like we let our mind to interfere with this process constantly, and we get lost when we are not looking at the right, place. Yeah. So that's why I do believe that when you remove these barriers of your mind and you really become vulnerable is when you have the possibility to really absorb and grow. And as you grow, you have much more power to be able to help, and reach, for others and deliver God message, and keep moving forward and touching, more souls. Yes. But it's like a constant cycle. You need to feed, and then you can feed others, so just like that, right?
That's beautiful. I love how you said that.
Right.
And it's not about us, it's about taking care of God's vessels so that we can be about His work,
right,
and helping others.
Right.
And Bruno is big on helping others. He's so selfless. So thank you, Bruno.
No, thank
for
you.
Being a beautiful example.
Oh, no.
So in the three things maybe that people can do, number one, you have a goal. You said at the beginning. Right?
Yes,
have a goal.
Yes, a purpose. Absolutely. I will even exchange the word goal, because I think goal it's okay. But I think like it's more in the surface of really, the whole point. I think like it should be deeper than that, than just a goal. It should be a purpose. Why? Why is like you want that, to happen in your life? And when we learn how to really want that and we embrace that purpose of life, it comes with a passion. And passion is key to feel motivated. I never met anybody who is motivated with that passion. So you need the passion in order to be motivated. The most passionate people is the ones that are more motivated and are going to motivate more others. So when you find your purpose in life, and different purposes can be different stages in your life, then you pursue that with passion, and the passion is going to bring this motivation. It's not easy. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be up and downs. But that purpose always going to be on the back of your mind, telling you, okay, your purpose is this. So that extra strength, like is going to, the Holy Spirit is going to bring you up, to continue your journey towards your purpose. So that's why purpose is like I would say the most important one for motivation. Yes.
Good one. So purpose and then balance, creating that balance in life.
Absolutely.
And then being kind to yourself, essentially, because you said, know where you are, train accordingly to where you are, and then forgive yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't do more than what you could the day before.
Yeah.
And then check in the next day.
I couldn't say it like more clear than what you just said. I completely support you and agree with you, because you're talking about a purpose, right? The strength, the passion. You're talking about, what was the second one you said?
Balance. The
balance, which is peace, right? When we find balance, we're in peace. We're in peace with ourselves. We're in peace. We are again in a position to give now when we're in balance. When we're unbalanced, we can even if we want to, we can help. It's like when you're in a plane. If the plane goes down and the mask come out, they tell you the first thing you need to do is put it yourself, and then you can help your kids, which is the thing that you would give your life for, right?
Yes.
But if you don't help yourself first, how can you help your kid? Well, the balance is the same thing. If you don't really have balance in your life, you can't help anybody. And you start affecting others in the wrong way. So that's why our job, our responsibility as we grow as well, is to try to find that balance with the right tools. And that is when we need to explore the empty places in our, in our heart, in our soul, in our spirit, in our body, in our intellectual aspects, and pursue the right tools. And with the right tools, step at a time, find that balance. Yes. And the third one you said,
forgive ourselves.
Forgive ourselves, which I would translate that into being humble. Become vulnerable. It's okay. It's fine. And it's so hard because in today's society we have this pressure all the time that you are not enough. You are not enough, because to be enough you need to be this level or that level of accomplishment, or look like this, or like, again, the media brought so many amazing things to this world, don't get me wrong, but as well is bringing so how would I put it, so many challenges for keep growing if you don't really bypass these aspects of that. They don't bring positive things.
Right.
So with that said, I do believe that when we become humans, and that means to me being vulnerable, and yes, you are going to, it doesn't mean you're weak because you're vulnerable. Right. Actually, the opposite. When you accept that you're vulnerable and you need help, you really become strong, because then your life changes. Then you open, your heart changes. It's like being in a dark place and then all of a sudden you turn on the light. Everything changes when you really go to that level. And then everything it's combined. It's like a puzzle, because when you become more vulnerable and you become more humble, then of course you're going to be able to have more passion for things and become, keep walking towards your purpose, and at the same time you're going to go and find that balance. So everything is connected. So that's what I think. So yes.
I love it. Thank you.
Oh no, thank you.
So I think we'll leave viewers with that right now. So,
all right.
Those are 3 things to get you started, and I'm going to share a little teaser. Next time we're going to talk about nutrition and how this vegetarian walked into Bruno's studio.
Right.
and then what's transpired over the last 15 or so years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So,
that is
and in
yes.
doing so, we're going to talk a little bit about the documentary Game Changer, which is all about athletes, professional athletes,
right,
who are exceeding in their fields.
Right.
So
very useful. I think it's going to be an amazing topic, because again, talking about balance and talking about achieving goals, nutrition is one of the key aspects, as well, to find that natural balance. Because we're perfect machines in here physiologically, but we need the right, again, fuel. So there's so much controversy about what should I eat. I mean, and if we go from everything extreme, protein diets, animals, to completely vegetarians and plant-based, and what's better, what's not. Should I eat at night? Should I skip, dinner? I should have breakfast, and no, don't have any more breakfast now. You need to be eating from 2. So basically what I do believe is about science, in these aspects. You don't have to go by intuition. So in order to do that, you need to educate yourself, and that's what we're going to try to do next time, and talk a little bit more about these topics.
Awesome.
All right.
That's exciting.
Okay.
Have a great week, everybody. If you want to contact Bruno, to talk to him about anything,
yeah,
how can you do that?
Well, you can visit our website if you guys want, which is performance-site.com, or you can go to our Facebook page, which is Performance Fitness Studio, located in Redlands, or you can either way text us with some more questions or that you guys want for us to share in here and talk, which is you can text us.
But under the comments, we're at
there you go.
You want us to address next time?
Absolutely.
From this one or going forward to the nutrition.
Absolutely.
Just let us know. All right, have a great week. Get out there, get moving.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Bruno.
Bye.